What's up, guys? So here are my predictions for UFC 239, which takes place this Saturday. And this is, I think, the best event so far of the summer. I think 241. No, actually, this one is up there with 241. You know, the one with Cormier, Miocic, Perez, Diaz, and I think Romero versus Borrachina, whatever. That's a pretty badass event too. But this one is amazing. Like, the entire main card is solid, every single fight. So let's get to it. So Jones versus Santos, man, easy pick always. And I talked about this when I covered Jones versus Anthony Smith. You know, Jones has got to the point that it's really hard to pick against Jones. It's gonna take someone, even though I kind of feel like Rakic and maybe Johnny Walker are getting up there. Even then, I will still probably pick Jones to win those fights. But this is kind of like when I said about Anthony Smith, what I'm gonna say about Thiago Santos. Other than a very well-deserved puncher's chance, slash, borderline lucky punch, if you want to call it. As I said before, I don't believe in lucky punches, especially when it's a guy like Santos who has all that power and has been knocking people out, left and right. That's why I call it puncher's chance. But I just think that Jones is going to do to him very similar to what he did to Anthony Smith, Gustafsson. Just use his reach, stay on the outside. That oblique kick to the knee, attempt a takedown every now and then. Even though I don't think he'll want to do that with Santos, because Santos, I don't think he'll be able to take him down. And Santos has really good jiu-jitsu too. So the strategy should be, maybe in the later rounds. That's why I have Jones. My prediction is Jones KO TKO round 3, because I think Jones will go there, be safe round 1, round 2, put the pressure in, eventually wear him off, and then finish him round 3. So I had Jones KO TKO round 3, maybe possible ground and pound. And like I said, Santos has a puncher's chance, and but overall, Jones, man, hard to pick against Jones. So Jones KO TKO round 3. I think Thiago's might be the thing about Jones is that his striking is pretty good, but he's not like an amazing striker. He just puts everything together very well. Like, I think if these guys were to box, for example, I think Santos would win. But in an MMA fight, gotta go with Jones. So, but like I said, puncher's chance, 10%. I'm like 90-10. Like, I feel like if this guy's fighting 10 times, one of them Santos lands the punch. And that could be this Saturday, but still, Jones. Then Amanda Nunez versus Holm. So when this one first came out, I thought Amanda Nunez, KO TKO round 1. But then the more I think about it, Holly Holmes has never been finished. See what are the odds on this one. And 37 years old. She's already getting up there in age, but the one thing about her is she comes from that Greg Jackson camp. These guys, if there is something that they're pretty good at, is implementing a game plan where even if they don't win, at least they won't get hurt too bad. So at first I had Nunez by KO TKO, but then I was like, you know what? No, decision, because I bet Holly Holm's gonna go there and be super, unlike Cyborg, who went there just swinging like she always does, because that's how she's beat all of her opponents, except that she ran into Nunez, who could do the same. Holly Holm's not gonna do that. She's not gonna go there and just go hit the gas and try to beat Nunez. She's gonna go there, use her boxing, use her jab, and try to catch her on something in a very conservative approach. I don't think it's gonna work. I think Nunez wears her out and eventually beats her into a decision. It could be a late TKO maybe, but even then, I have Nunez by decision, solid decision. So we'll see how that goes. Then Askren versus Masvidal. Guys, I got Masvidal on this one. He's my underdog for this one. So there's no secret, right? They covered this in somebody said it. If Ben Askren has to win, he has to take it down and try to control him or submit him. That is way easier said than done. I have never seen Masvidal, even like when he fought Damian Maia, who was a middleweight, and then he dropped to welterweight. And as a middleweight, he controlled a lot of pretty big and strong guys. He had a hard time controlling Masvidal. Like Masvidal was hard to take down, hard to control. And this is a guy in Maia that has, I mean, you could argue that he has the same credentials as Ben Askren, but in jiu-jitsu instead of wrestling. You know, before Ben Askren got into the UFC, I always talked about Olympic level guys, and I always talked about how Ben Askren was one of those guys outside of the UFC. And how long ago was this? 3 months ago. So yeah, Ben Askren, he's an Olympic wrestler. You know, those guys have taken that discipline to a level, you know, above everyone else's. But the same way Maia did. And the thing is, if you watch Askren's fight versus Lawler, well, one, we already know it was a bullshit call, but I do see that because Lawler's arm went limp. But I feel like Askren was out on that fight when Lawler was elbowing his face on the ground. I think he was out for a few seconds, but Herdin didn't stop it. I think, once again, and let's look at the size. I think Masvidal might be even bigger. Same size, but you know, slight higher reach. Man, Gamebrew will be very well prepared for this one. Like I said, I've never seen anyone out wrestle this guy ever, even Maia, and you can see that was a split decision for Maia. I feel like Masvidal goes there, survives round one, because Ben Askren's gonna go 100% try to take him down. He might take him down, might succeed, but I think Masvidal will get up, and eventually Ben Askren will get worn out, and Masvidal will finish him KO round 2 after Askren has wasted most of his gas. So that, I have Masvidal KO round 2. Not very confident on this one also. I'm going like 60-40. Jorge Masvidal 60-40. But nevertheless, Masvidal KO round 2. Now this is a tough one that I had to think about over and over. And I ended up with Rockhold KO round 1. The thing is, Rockhold has always been a huge middleweight. See, look, he's taller and just an inch difference, but so I'm pretty sure Rockhold had his whole life a really hard cut to middleweight. Like if you see that guy, you know you gotta say, man, how the hell does he make it to 185? So I'm going under the assumption that Rockhold was not 100% a middleweight ever, just because of the weight cut that he had to take. I think with 20 pounds less for him to worry, I think his camp is going to be, like I'm pretty sure his camp in the past was training, and also having to make weight. I think at 205, the weight cut would be basically non-existent. It will be super easy for him to make, and he's going to be 100% prepared on his fighting skills. The one thing about Rockhold is that his chin has always been fragile. But at the same time, it's really hard to... Well, yeah, it is. I mean, that fight with Bisping will show you that the guy's chin is not the greatest, you know, because Bisping knocked him out with the punch that didn't really seem that hard. Like the one with Romero, I understand. I mean, Romero will knock anyone out. And then the one with the spinning back kick from Vitor Belfort, that will knock anyone out too. And Blachowicz has power, so... for sure, but again, you have to wonder, was Rockhold's chin a little weaker because of all the weight cut. Because that is the thing. When guys drain themselves too much, it affects their chin and resistance. So Rocco might have a better chin at light heavyweight, but at the same time, he's fighting guys that naturally are going to punch harder than middleweights. But I think Rocco at light heavyweight is going to go there and try to make a statement, and I think he's going to be better at light heavyweight. Now, don't take me on this one, because I thought Max Holloway would be better at a lightweight, and he ended up being where I just don't think Max Holloway has the power to fight at lightweight. But that's a different subject. So, but Rocco, like I said, he's always been a powerful guy, and I think he'll go there and make a statement round one. So I got Rocco Kyotico round one. Then Chiesa versus Sanchez. So I have Sanchez once again. So another underdog on this one. Last time Sanchez fought, he fought Nicky Gall, and I picked Sanchez to win. And you can find the video there. It's in one of my videos. I said that this guy has never been out grappled or out wrestled by anyone. He's been knocked out. Guys like Mike Brown, Iaquinta. I've never seen anyone out grapple this guy. And since Mickey Gall is known for out grappling people, I knew that he was not going to be able to do that to Sanchez. And the one thing that worries me is Sanchez's chin, right? Because that chin has been broken. But this guy, Michael Chiesa, his striking there's nothing impressive about it. Has a lot of reach on him, but he's been submitted before many times. Perez, Lee, and then I think Masvidal also admitted him. So while he has a lot of submission and good top control, he's not really he can get submitted, and Sanchez can definitely do it. But I just don't see Chiesa out grappling Sanchez. Can he catch him with the punch and knock him out? Absolutely, and that's because of Sanchez's broken chin. But this is another one that is not super confident. Again, 60-40. But officially, my pick is Sanchez to win by submission round 3. Oh, and Sanchez can go 5 rounds, 3 rounds at 100 miles per hour. So that is one thing that he has over Chiesa. I think he's the better grappler and better cardio. It's just with the broken chin. So, like, the only way I see Chiesa winning this one is by landing a punch that knocks Sanchez out. But Chiesa is not really an amazing striker, so that's why I have Sanchez by decision. And then I have two of the opponents. So I have Gilbert Melendez versus Arnold Allen. I have Allen by solid decision, man. I agree with the crowd on this one, or they agree with me, however you want to call it. Gilbert Melendez and Jeremy Stevens said this once. Just Melendez and all the Diaz, actually everyone from that camp, Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, Melendez, are guys that just never evolved. They all have that same heavy on the front leg boxing style that they just with good jiu-jitsu. That's it. That's why they're in a nutshell. Diaz, both the Diaz and Melendez. He's done an amazing kicker, Jeremy Stevens took him to school. 37 years old, a year and 9 months layoff. I think he has nothing going for him on this one. Arnold Allen is fast, and I just see him more explosive, more dynamic, faster hands, and I don't think his grappling will be able to work on him. So I have Arnold Allen by decision. I think he puts a dominant 30-27 decision. And the other one that I have, it's Perez versus Yadong Song. I have Yadong Song by decision. The one thing that Yadong has much superior than Perez, like completely dominant, is the speed. This guy is incredibly fast. and everything. His punches, his kicks, his spinning, his unorthodox attacks. It's super fast. I would say he kind of reminds me of Edson Barboza when he first started in the UFC, and he had this speed that was crazy. But I even think Yadong's a bit faster. He lacks power though. On his last fight versus Morales, he was landing a lot of stuff at will, but it seemed to have no power behind it. However, the pressure, the speed will be too much. I do question his takedown defense though. I know this guy sometimes trains at AKA, so out wrestling could be part of the game plan, but careful with that one. So I'm like 70-30 on this one. Just can he impose his grappling? We don't know. But Song Yadong by decision for sure. Alright guys, so here's my summary like always. Jones KO round 3, but Thiago Santos has a very well deserved puncher's chance. If he lands clean on Jones's jaw, he can knock him out. This guy can knock anyone out. So puncher's chance for sure, but Jones KO round 3. I have Nunez by decision. I have Jorge Masvidal KO round 2. Rocco KO round 1. I have Sanchez by submission round 3. I have Allen by decision, and Yadong Song by decision. Alright guys, have a good one.